Hello everyone and welcome to another Lighthouse Academy tips and tricks video. Today we're going to check out a couple of tips starting with how to create a custom width and height for our empty latent image. So by default we have our empty latent image if we're dealing with text to image, and we have to, set all the dimensions by hand. For example, 1024 by 1024. In order to not do that and make our lives a bit easier, we will use the Flux resolution calculator. Okay, so how do we connect the width and height to our empty latent image so we don't have to manually input our numbers? Well, it's very, very simple. Just click on width and drag it to the input of the width widget and do that again for the height. That's it. Options will now be grayed out and we can select our aspect ratio. I'll choose 16 by 9 since I'm mostly working with cinematic images, and push Ctrl Enter, or you just press click on the run and we will get a nice 16 by 9 image. All right, here we go. And our size is 1344 by 768. This is the default dimension of 16 by 9 Flux image. But we can make it even larger by going to megapixel and select, let's say, 2.5 and Control Enter again. This will take a second longer because we are dealing with a relatively larger image, and we have an image in 2K size, 2112 by 1216. Tip number 2. So many times we have a lot of nodes inside our groups. I only have groups on my canvas, and we lose quite a lot of time by zooming out and then zooming in and finding the right group. But we have a nice shortcut, and it's called a bookmark. Here you go, and we can select the shortcut key 1 and how much zoom do we want to have when we press the number 1. So let's go with 2 and collapse it. Now we can copy it, go to group 2, and we will type in shortcut key 2, and let's go with zoom 1.5. We will paste another one, shortcut key 3, and zoom 1, and on group 4 type in shortcut key number 4 and zoom 1.2, for example. We can now collapse all the bookmarks, and what else we can do is to pin it. How do we pin it? Right click and option pin. And now we cannot move this node. So if your node is in the strategic position, as you can see, we can pin the group by going to edit group and pin it. Boom, boom, and the fourth one, boom. So I will now press number 1 and boom. So it will put the bookmark node on your left upper corner, so everything will be positioned relatively to this node. If we push button 2, we will go to group 2 and the zoom level is a bit better, and number 3 and group number 4. The next tip will be how everything looks like. So if we want to have a different color mode, just go to your settings, appearance, and now you have a color palette. You can choose dark, light, solarized arc, Nord, or GitHub. I love GitHub because it's much more, well, it's much clearer. Everything is much clearer. But that's just me. You go with whatever fits best to you. And if we want to make our spaghetti, our connections linear, just go to settings, go to light graph, and pick one of those options. So straight, linear, spline, and hidden. If we select straight, everything will look like this. It's gorgeous. But sometimes we get lost with those kinds of connections. So I prefer to work with not linear, not straight, but linear. And now we can see where everything goes just a bit better. And there is, well, non-cooked spaghetti in our Comfy. So this was our short tips and tricks video, and I'll see you in the next one really soon. Thank you and bye-bye.